What was I talking about? I was talking about how bad Korra was. Oh my God. Jesus, how do people think that's a good show? Korra's not a good show. It's just like even like the teen romance that they try to get us involved in with, like it's just bullshit. It's just, like they try to get us to be like, oh man, this love story is so good in the beginning. It's like, oh, but like we never get to settle. We don't get time with the characters enough to kind of be like, oh, I want this to work out, but we don't get any time with the characters, you know?
Well, it's
It's
just
just
it's there's not much to the characters for us to be invested in. I think is the problem. Now, if Korra was a more interesting character than she was, we would actually care. I mean, same with her relationship with Mako and Bolin and all of that. Like you could see and that's the thing with Korra is like you could see where the show could have been really really good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
it
know what
had
you're
it
saying.
had
Yeah.
good ideas in it, but it just piss poor execution, and
Yes.
it really does destroy the lore of Avatar. But that's a topic for another time. So yes, welcome to Weep for a Day. I am Dr. Suss, and joining me today is Blanton Nas, the cool cat
What's
Chris Kringle.
up? Ho ho ho.
How you doing?
What's up?
How you doing?
Mm, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, I am pleasantly decent. And today we are going to talk about the first two seasons of Attack on Titan. This is part one. And coming in the future will be part two, covering season 3 and 4 once season 4 wraps up. I know I'm excited.
Oh yes, I'm excited too. Season fucking four. Let's go.
But yeah, so you're the one that introduced me to this anime, and the first episode, whew, man, what a hook. You got me
It
asking
just
questions, and ooh,
yeah, like that's what like I don't know. Now a lot of anime kind of gets you like the first some anime gets you with that first episode. This one kind of just hooks you in. You're just like, wait, what?
right, and it gives you like practically nothing in terms of world building, but that's fair because you don't want to overload the audience right out of the gate with like, okay, this is what happened, this is how it happened, and this is why things are the way they are. Instead, we're just introduced to a civilization that lives behind gigantic fucking walls, and we're told about titans and the scouts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's but I think I told you I think I told you about it or I talked to somebody about it. But it's like you're giving they give you the perspective of Aaron, like of Aaron and his people like when you first get introduced to the show. You know what they know and that's it. Like that's all they want to show you. That's all they want you to know at that point is this is what they know, and this is how much they know, and this is how much you will know, and that is it. And this is the adventure you're gonna go on.
Right. And you get different perspectives from the first few characters that we meet, the shy and reserved Mikasa and the
Hmm.
timid but intelligent Armin, but Aaron is great because he gives that question of like he has the ideology that the life within the walls it's like what does he call it, cattle, like they're all living as cattle
Yeah.
and stuff, and like his
Hmm.
main aspiration is to see what's beyond the walls. And as us the audience, we're like, yeah, what is behind those walls? So it's a great like introduction to your protagonist because you automatically kind of like want to learn with him, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's a great like way to like get the audience in the show because they make you ask questions, and then as it progresses, you're still left with those questions, just like, yo, when are they gonna answer these questions?
Right. And then so this wall civilization basically, just comes to an end because of just this big ass titan just looms over the wall and just kicks the hole and just all these titan. All right, let's talk about the titans. The titans are just like varying in size giants that just eat people. And They look and run around so fucking goofy, it's hard not to laugh.
It's I think that's the most like a lot of people just when they're like when somebody talks about the show they're like how do you deal with this goofy ass like run cycles like how do you deal with that? It's like that's it's just a part of the show. It's like out of all the gore, the blood, the drama, the everything that happens in the show, that is the most goofy part. And that's like, to me, that's like a calm down of what's actually happening. It's like the Scream movies and like, oh my God, this dude has a knife, he's killing people. But it's like the way they die is kind of like it's kind of goofy. But I can't really take apart on the Scream movies. I know the scary movies, and like that's to me the Titans and how they look, how they run, how they are. Just they're the funny part of the show that kind of like calms down what the actual hell is going on. You know?
Yeah, I would do you one further and say that it elevates it because they look so goofy. It kind of like brings your guard down, but as soon as they get a hold of someone, like it's just pure terror because of what they do to them. Just maliciously killing them, without any remorse or
Hmm.
anything. I heard a rumor on the internet, so take it with a grain of salt, that the creator of the manga, the inspiration for the Titans was like he got into a fight with some drunk asshole or something, and he basically just turned that into like like a civilization that has to fight just giant drunk assholes. Like that's why they look that way and run that way. Like if that's true, that's fucking hilarious.
I mean, if you look at a lot of the episodes of You See the Titan, they reminisce like I think I heard the same rumor like a lot of the run cycles or a lot of the people the Titans that you see like they look so like goofy and drunk and he like and put that within the Titans and it's freaking great. Oh my God, I wish I hope that's true. I hope it's true.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say in my heart that I know it's true, but so yeah, one of the reasons I think a lot of people like the show, us included, is that it deals with cause and effects and consequences heavily, and
Hmm.
it's very prevalent in the second episode when Aaron and Mikasa and Armin and Armin's grandfather escape to what is it, Walsina? Is it the second wall?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't remember the
I
order.
think so. Same.
And so it's basically that the Titans have overrun one ring of the wall. So, and that's like a lot of farmland and all that stuff. So you have all these people like uh, being refugees in the into the other wall and mouths to feed and all that stuff. Like the food supply chain is ridiculous, with all this influx of people. So they send out like a bunch
Hmm.
of people to quote unquote try to take back Wall Rose or whatever.
Hmm.
And
And
yeah, I just love that it dealt with cause and effect. Like having all these people, would have this kind of outcome, and that is the likely result that the government would come to is like, okay, we basically got to get rid of all these people.
yeah, it's that like me watching that as well. Like I just like it was a very interesting like realistic view on it that like I never thought I would get in a show. I think when I first watched, I was like really young when I watched it, and like not too young, but young enough, and I didn't like really think about like those type of like ways of life that they would have to choose, like because they have to choose like survival. So they're like, not only do they have to fight these titans, but they also like kind of have to fight themselves over foods, rations, over housing, like space, just area alone. Like they're like having to like choose between these things that like not a lot of people choose from, you know?
No, yeah, I totally agree. But so yeah, so it's there's a time jump, and Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin decide to join the military. Try to become scouts or whatever. And they go through their training and stuff, and like on their first day, first day, like, boom, the fucking colossal titan just appears right behind him after Aaron was like, we're gonna beat them, back and take the wall and
Mm-hmm.
this, and then boom,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you subvert expectations, Ryan Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Like my ass watching that for the first time, I was like, wait, what, did I miss an episode? Like, is this supposed to happen? Is this a dream sequence?
It's like it take like because like what is it that the training alone was just like was like I don't know, it was a good build up to just that episode, like because you feel like that moment feels like you skipped something, like shit hit the fan so quickly, which like in that type of environment, like shit could hit the fan at any moment and you wouldn't know it, and they wouldn't know it, and nobody would know it. Like you as the watcher and the viewer, you're like, holy shit, what just happened? And then everything happens and he kicks what is it, the gate? Yeah. He kicks the gate and you're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Can we calm down for a second?
Yeah, gave the audience like no room to breathe. Just jumped us right into it, and so the Titans are pouring in, and they're trying to lead an advance army, advance groups to take them out, and everyone's just getting overwhelmed. And holy shit, when Aaron was in the Titan's mouth and got his hand bit, I was like, holy shit, they did that. They actually killed this main character. Because like I could have totally seen the show going on with from Armin's and Mikasa's and the other characters that
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
been introduced with. Like it's like that Ned Stark thing at Game of Thrones. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah, 100%. You would think because of what happens, like, cause like everything, like there's no calm. The Titan hits the wall. Like we have to prepare for a fight. Everybody's like, how, like what are we fighting? Aaron's the only one yelling and screaming. You know, going like, yeah, we could do this. We like they came in like my home and they destroyed everything. They killed my mother. Let's do this. Let's take care of everything. And we know that he's headstrong and we like he just he's bullheaded. He's not gonna like he's gonna do what he has to do to get the job done. And to see him get taken down and then watch his team get taken out, they give you no room to breathe. And you're just stuck like, holy shit, this can't happen. And then you see our main character get taken down like that. You're just, and like they stay on that moment, like from one end to the episode to the next episode, and you're just kind of stuck there, like,
yeah, I think it's crazy that both the colossal Titans showing up and then the scene death of Aaron, like happening all in the same episode. It's like, holy shit, this show just took like another 180 from where it was already at. Like it was already great, but now it's like, holy shit. But yeah, it's later revealed that Aaron is turned into a Titan and was just like fucking up these Titans and like more or less
yeah,
saving the cadets that were chilling in that castle.
it's still like, like we the like watchers are still like what is it? Is it like two or three episodes where we don't get them, where we don't get them at all?
Uh, I think yeah that we get two two episodes, but on but the episode, no, honestly, because the next episode after that one is when the introduction of the Attack Titan, and no, wait, no, my bad. It's the next episode after that when the Attack Titan saves Mikasa, if you remember. Like
Mm-hmm.
she was like gonna give up, and then she was like, "No, Aaron wouldn't want me to," and then she was about to uh, try to fuck up this Titan with a broken blade, and then that's when the Attack Titan just
Mm-hmm.
like booted that head off.
Right. So it's like, think like had like that like I like when I first watched it. I didn't think that was Aaron. I had a guess, but the fact that cause that moment's just sitting there yo, this Titan is for us.
Right.
Like
As soon
like
as I saw the
mm,
eyes, I was like, "Oh, that's Aaron." But I was like curious of like, okay, so what? You could just become like you get eaten by a Titan, you become a Titan. That's because again, they don't really explain that much about the Titans. I mean, of course, that's on purpose. They don't explain it, in the first few episodes, which is nice.
mm. Oh, it's what is it? I say it's really to me it was really great writing. I didn't I when I first watched it, I didn't think that was Aaron. I didn't think anything of it. Like I learned that there was two sides of it. There's the side that knew it was Aaron and the side that didn't know. But you as me watching it, I was like, okay, we got to take this Titan. We got to put it on keep it on our side because from what we know, these guys have been playing defense their entire lives, and you can only play defense for so long, and these guys need something to combat these Titans. And seeing Aaron become that Titan, or seeing that Titan in general, you're just like, all right, so we have something to fight against.
So, question: say it wasn't Aaron, it was just some Titan that just started attacking other Titans, like for just no reason, and like it wasn't like one of the nine Titans and stuff. Do you think the
Mhm.
military would still try to use it, or do you think it would use it to win Trost back and then kill it, or just keep using it, try to, I don't know, domesticate it or point it towards or something like that? Because you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
in the following episodes, it's left with the military is left with a dilemma. Like, okay, there's a Titan among us, but it just happens to be one of our cadets that has somewhat this power to turn into a Titan. We don't fully understand it, and we've been living 100 years under the Titans, under their mercy, outside the walls and shit. So I can understand their fear, but on a logical standpoint of in that that's what Armin proposes to that one crazy looking military guy, is that like no matter which way you spin it, we need him.
Yeah. So even because to me, I don't think if that was if it wasn't one of their cadets, and it was just a random Titan, is that the question?
Yeah.
Then I don't think the way how scared they were, and what their ideas were that general right there. The only reason Aaron survived that ordeal wasn't because of Aaron, wasn't because of me, because it was literally because Armin. Is it Armin? Yeah, it's Armin who proposed the idea. And if it was left to those generals, those guys on the inside of the wall, then I think they take out the Titan. They do everything in their power to get rid of that Titan because they were so scared of what they saw, and what was around them, and what they're thinking, that there was no way, if you put anybody else in that situation, I don't think anybody survives that, because they were dead set on killing Aaron.
Okay. Do
Dead set.
so to follow up with that, do you think Armin and well, yeah, just Armin would advocate the same for using the Titan if it wasn't Aaron? Or do you think because it was Aaron that he put his all into it? Because we know Armin as a very logical, pragmatic character.
Mhm.
So would he? Would do you think he would still defend the said Titan if it wasn't Aaron?
Um, I, I don't I would think he would. I think the reason he came up with the idea so fast to me is because it was Aaron. I think if it was anybody else, he'd be a lot more cautious, because he does if this were to be another person in that Titan, and Armin didn't know him, he would be a lot more cautious and be a lot more questionable. But at the same time, he would still question restraint. you'd be like, all right, guys, we got to stop for a second because this guy just fought for our side. So he would be on the defensive side, but I don't know if he come up comes up with the idea as quick as he did if that isn't Aaron.
Okay, that's totally fair. That's probably what I would see him doing as well. So yeah, moving on. So yeah, so Aaron is like after the he does help plug the hole in Trost and basically save Trost and everything. The military still like capture him and they have that trial. And okay, how much of a badass is Captain Levi? Let's just get that out of the way.
He's to me one of the first badasses in anime like in a while. That's like kind of like Vegeta, but not. Like he's like very like he's strong. He's the strongest Goku, but kind of has like this type of feel of Vegeta and like Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga, like just very chill, just very kind of like piss off. Like just, he's himself, but he's as good as Goku. You know?
No, yeah, I totally agree. I definitely like the Vegeta analogy because Vegeta has a problem with like emotions and everything. He kind of sees emotions as weakness because he's trying to be like the ultimate warrior or whatever. And I think Levi is just emotionless, probably just because of his trauma. And I think that's like what separates him and stuff is that he's willing to like shut off basically being a human being to basically just murder titans in the most proficient way to the point where I think it's numbed him when he starts to lose his friends where he doesn't react like
Hmm.
how normal people would react because he's been doing this for so long. And but yeah, Cap.
It's go ahead.
No,
My
no,
bad,
no,
brother.
no, no. Go. You're the guest here.
Uh, Levi is just he's. I think Vegeta is the greatest like person to kind of like compare him to because he's just like you said, like he's had like this long stem of killing Titans and like you could like when we were first introduced to him, like we see him as a badass. He stands up for his troops. He's with his troops. Like he's fighting with his troops as he goes, and it's like he's the first like character in a while that's got me like that gets me excited when he's ever on the field because I know that this dude's gonna win.
Right.
You know, like
The one thing I like better than Levi is him and his relationship with Captain Commander Irvin. Like
oh
those two working together, like I wouldn't mind a spin-off show of just them like as cadets going through and then become rising through the
yes,
ranks. Like, oh, that'd be so fucking dope because it's kind of like their relationship is kind of like King Arthur and Lancelot. King Arthur, the
hmm
leader, the noble and whatever, and then Lancelot, the warrior, that you know. So yeah, I like their relationship, and then you add Hanji in the mix, and it's great.
it it's they create this like they make the fantasy of Aaron's like dreams of what the scouts are come true. Like this troop of like this gang of like I could kind of say misfits that are doing the job that Aaron wants to do. Like he wants to do. He wants to get the freak out the wall, the fuck out the wall. I don't know why I say freak, but he wants to get the fuck out, and he wants to see the outside. And this troop, this band of misfits, fit what he wants to do. And Aaron, Irwin, not Levi, Irwin, and Hanji, like they all fit it, and they all fit this type of dream team that Aaron always saw the scouts being.
Yeah, yeah, uh, I totally agree. So, and yeah, Levi beats the shit out of Aaron during that trial. But there is a logical reason for that. Is because the scouts wanted him, but they didn't want to make it seem like they wanted him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They had to basically put him in his place and show the other councils or whatever, the premier and the that like at the end of the day he's a weapon, not gonna be in one of them. But behind closed doors, they know he is a scout in his core, regardless of the Titan powers or not.
Yeah, I think what is it? Like with in that trial with like you said, they try to make it seem like, yo, like he's just a weapon, and like I think Levi is the greatest person to kind of beat on him. Like he takes it a little too far, but he takes it just far enough where they're like, what? Like you can't question this man because not only does he have the numbers to show it, but you're seeing it right in front of his face, in front of your face, that this man, even if Aaron were to stand up to him, he would take him down in seconds. And
Oh,
that
easily.
that's what Levi serves, not only to like the plot, but to to those moments where you see Levi, is that he's like he's the calm when you like and you're like, oh shit, like we're about to die, and like Levi shows up, you're like, whew, he's here. He's that like breath of fresh air. And so like seeing him beat on him in that courtroom, you're like, all right, he could take care of him.
Yeah. So Aaron goes through training and whatever, and starts learning more about his powers and such. And then after a while, they're doing a mission, a scouting mission to try to take back wall. I can't remember the name of the wall. Is it Maria Rose Cena? Yeah.
Is that the one where they put the boulder in?
I think that's Wall Rose. Yeah. It's Maria Rose and then Cena. Because I remember Commander Pixis saying that. Oh, we're skipping ahead. Anyway, so they have the scouting mission, to try to retake Wall Maria, or you know what I mean. And
Okay,
okay,
okay, that's after. Okay.
yeah, so they're all on horses and everything, and this is just like a thing I want to ask you. So they have the ODM technology, these gas powered propellants with cables
Yeah.
and wires and stuff like that. So you, they have technology. They have resources. They're able to get this gas. They're able to manufacture all these crazy complicated machinery, right?
Hmm.
How come they don't build a car?
So that one is like, what is it? To me, that one like the technology that they discover and what they don't discover is answered later on. But like to me, I don't think they discover that type of technology because it's like if they have cars, then they can escape the walls. And I think like the people within the government who are like top brass, they have one mission on on their brain. They have one thing. They have one idealism. As we learn what the king wants, and what the people want, and what people outside of it want. Like to me, they don't discover that because their own government doesn't allow it. So even if somebody were to come up with the idea, that idea would never surface because of what has been passed on, to passed on, to passed on from generation to generation of higher ups. Like the lower people of what is it of that island of Paradise Island, they they probably could come up with those ideas, but like nobody in the higher ups wants them to expand. They want them to stay there, and that's what the king wanted. And so I want to say that they could have come up with it, but like
No,
nobody.
that totally
Yeah,
makes sense. I didn't even think about that. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, they're having the scout mission, and this is where we're introduced to the female Titan. And holy shit, is she brutal?
Whew, whew. There is no. I don't like. There's like I said, Levi is that guy that calms down everything, but when we were first introduced to her, whoa, like I don't know, like we get introduced to the armored titan and we get introduced to the colossal titan, and like those two are the ones where like holy shit, if they go anywhere around us, we're screwed. But then we get introduced to the female titan, and not only is she fast, but she's clever and maneuvering, and we're like, is this another one of Aaron?
Right, yeah, same size and like build and stuff like that. And but this is the Titan that I knew right off the bat who it was. You know what I mean?
Yo,
Hold on. Oh,
the part of the guys. Yeah.
hello, Mr. Smith, for introducing yourself to the podcast,
Yes,
We need a
sir.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Smith, meet Blantonaz.
Ho ho ho.
Yo.
But yeah, we were getting to the part of the introduction of the female Titan. Did you catch
The first one or which one?
the female Titan, like the only female Titan? Well, okay, yeah, the first female Titan, I guess. And we're talking about season 1 and 2 here.
Yeah. Okay.
Did,
Okay, yeah. Did you give away the name yet, or?
no, we were getting to that. I was just telling Blanta
Okay.
that yeah, that's the only Titan I knew right off the bat who it was. You know, the hair coloring, the eyes, the mannerisms. Like I was like, oh, that's definitely Annie. Like there's no doubt in my head about Annie. Like the other ones,
And even technically, I guess I think that might still be the second one, because Connie's mom, I think, was already introduced as hinted that was the Titan.
was that in the second season that Connie's mom, the one that's like laid out in the house with the goofy face?
Yeah. I can't quite exactly. I've been watching too much shows, and I was actually going through and rewatching, but I speed watched it, so like I'm already on season 3. So I'm gonna have to rewatch it again. And I was actually looking into picking up the manga.
I don't really read manga. I mean, it might be a manga worth checking out, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the style. I'd rather watch anime.
Well, that's one, and then also Tokyo Ghoul. I don't know if you watched that one.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it. Blanta, have you
It
seen
is-
Tokyo Ghoul?
I have not seen Tokyo Ghoul yet.
It is amazing until they get to the RE part, and I don't know. I mean, I know it's super huge. They even put it like Easter egg it into other films and shows and stuff. Like it's a huge thing. But once they got to RE, they just I don't know what happened. They just
Oh, so it's a shit show. That's good to know.
no. I mean, the first season or two, amazing, phenomenal. And then once it switches over to RE, it's just like, oh yeah, we're not gonna tell you any of the story. Just boom, this happens, and we're not gonna explain it, and this and this and that, and it's like what? But then I watched it all. I mean, still, the story is still eventually there, but it's just you don't know anything, and then just the battle scenes are amazing.
Is it better than Attack on Titan?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I don't. It's hard to even name anything. I mean, Demon Slayer is up there. Like Yu Yu Hakusho is up there, but I think Attack on Titan is the bar as of now.
Yeah, considering it's like one of the biggest animes in the world right now, next to Demon Slayer, coincidentally.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, Demon Slayer has better animation, but because it waited until about like what, like halfway through the second season or somewhere in the third season where they got away from like the Archer style, like the huge, like heavy outlining, and it's just like the cheesy like animation. And that's where they like actually like, hey, we're going all in on animation for everything that we can. So Demon
Yeah.
Slayer definitely has the animation edge on them, but Attack on Titan has the in-depth story.
Better
I mean,
story.
Yeah, that's
it's
Which one has better
it's just
characters is the question.
uh,
I got Attack on Titan.
yeah, I had to go with Titan because I mean, Demon Slayer is, it has Tanjiro, good character, but he's essentially kind of like a Goku, and then you
Yeah.
got Zenitsu, which is
Oh, so
like,
he's dumb. Got you.
uh, not, I mean, yes, but no, but kind of just like that. Oh, that bleeding heart, like I'll still give you another chance, even though you just murdered like thousands of people. But hey,
Yeah.
just be sorry, and I'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That's basically. You got Zenitsu, who's kind of annoying. Not even kind
Yeah,
of annoying.
no, super annoying. I mean, it's just they could have done better with this character. And then Inosuke, like, okay, yeah, cool, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So question for
But
you.
really, it's the animation, and then just, I mean, that first season just hooked everyone. I mean, like they start off with just utter gore and just wow, this is awesome, beautiful animation, and then just setting you up to build you on the lore.
So question for you, fine gentlemen. So the three branches of the military are garrison, military police, and the scouts. Of the three, which one would you pick had you be a character in this show?
Damn, that's a question.
I mean, that's a tough one because it definitely sounds nice to be an MP getting drunk and not doing anything.
It's true.
Yeah.
For me personally, I would say Garrison because it's the best of both worlds. See, I don't want to be an MP because you have a gun and limited ODM training, and I'd rather like be able to kill Titans if I had to. You know what I mean? The means to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a scout and actually go out and try to kill Titans. Like fuck that. I'd rather just man the walls, and if something happens, like all right, time to shine, nut up or shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Plus,
That's a hard
I'm
one
a
because
huge pussy.
because
So.
the MP sounds nice, cushy job. You live for free. You just sit around, get drunk all day, essentially do nothing. Because I mean, going off of the beginning of the story before you know anything else.
Right. Before the fall of Shinganshina.
Yeah.
Right. It still
At
shouldn't
the
be a
same
scout
time,
even before
though,
that.
oh yeah, yeah. At the same time, though, I still would like to say I would like to be a scout just for my own curiosity and just wow, I get to explore and okay, yeah, there's risk. I mean, I've done skateboarding, snowboarding, ATV riding, all kinds of stuff. I've risked my health and my life
Yeah, but
during this, so I feel like I would kind of make somewhat the same choice.
have you ever risked being eaten alive by a giant, goofy-looking Titan? It'd be crazy if
Yeah,
he said,
yeah.
"Yeah, you did. You have." Oh shit.
Yeah. I've been to Kippers once or twice.
For
I
anyone
would
that
say
doesn't know, that's a dumb bar.
I, I would have to say I'd be a scout. I couldn't live with the fact with all of those characters living with the fact that I'm okay with someday having to choose whether like the government kill me or a Titan to kill me. I'm gonna go with the Titan kill me because at least I'm doing something about it. Whereas the government's kind of like you're kind of
Well,
a waste of space.
at that point when you're in training and when you're going through that, because this is the beginning, basically, and
Hmm.
you don't even know that the government's dirty like that. None of the, all you know is just these scouts guys are crazy. They lose like quarter, a third of them every time they come back. Everyone, well, not everyone, but a good portion of society hates them. Like, you see them all the time. They come back and, oh, that's where our tax dollars are going to, and blah, blah. They're just getting shitted on all the time.
Yeah, it's like the only reason I say like the government would like they would basically kill me is because like you remember Armin's parent, like what is it, his grandpa or whatever, like they basically kicked him out of not kick him out, but like you guys are doing something good for society when they were just making space so they could have more resources for other people. It was just I can't live with the fact that like someday that will happen that the government at that point would force you and be like, come on, dude, do it for the good. And it's like the scout regiment's like I'm doing something and like I get to explore, I get to do more than just like be in the walls. Like I want to fight for freedom instead of being stuck in the walls. I personally can't do it.
So yeah, you you,
Yeah,
you basically just want freedom and agency, which the scouts would provide. Better to have control of your life than the military or government. I get that. I respect. Mad respect.
and and that's where especially if you know, obviously this is all just speculation, but if you ended up in a situation like Ervin, he knew the government killed his dad, and that was his whole thing. Like he even he's like, yeah, I'm kind of selfish, I'm kind of this might not be good for humanity, but I gotta expose these people, and that's where he went for the scout regiment and rose up through the ranks and did everything. And it's hard to say what you would actually do in the moment, having those
Hmm.
feelings, because I mean that's that's rough. I mean, you can't really even compare it to anything into our
Yeah.
world because the scout regiment is really just kind of like almost like a field expedition, mercenaries, whatever. Like, yeah, they're under supervision of the government and stuff, but they still kind of have free reign because they just kind of expect all of them to die, never figure anything out.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I agree. No, what were you gonna say, Blanta? I'm sorry.
No, yeah, no, I was like, with you, like I agree, like it's hard to put yourself in that position because like we all say we're gonna do one thing, but like within like that moment, that pressure, you could make a total different decision than you might think. Because the one person might be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna join the scouts 1 second," and then like situation happens, like, "No, I'm gonna go kill myself. I don't want to deal with this. Bye." So it's and I hate to put that much of like a damper on like a person's choice, but I'm just saying like
And
you're
that's
right.
just
Like,
being real,
yeah.
I mean, when put yourself in that position of seeing these giants eat your family, friends, neighbors, and then uh yeah, I don't want to deal with that. And I almost think like maybe almost end up like as John, like all right, I'm gonna go through this, go get a cushy job with the MP, hang out,
Mm-hmm.
drunk all day, not have to deal with nothing, and then just kind of something awakens, and then also like kind of like a peer pressure almost. Like
Yeah,
I'm probably
I
gonna
think
regret this, but I'm going with the scout.
Yeah, and I love
John is.
the opposite of that with Annie, because everyone kind of is like choosing the scouts, and she's like, fuck you guys, I'm going to the MPs. And they're like, what? You're one of the best. You're one of the
Well,
top of the class. And she's like, I don't care. I'm going to the MPs. I'm not dying. But then it's later on revealed.
well,
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
reason
she had
why she took the
ulterior
MP.
motives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But at the moment when I watched it, I
I
was like,
think.
damn, that's a cold bitch.
I
Which
think.
we
I
are
think.
about to see what ends up happening because she just finally got out of her shell. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be
True.
interesting to see.
Yes. Yes.
True. True. Ugh. I think you were right on the nose. Like I think John is one of the probably the most realistic and most relatable characters in the show. Like he was the one that was kind of like, I ain't doing that scout shit. Like I'm not going to. But then like his moment of truth came, and he was like, yeah, I gotta actually do this shit. Damn it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely
he was like,
he pulls off
"Damn,
the reluctant
little
leader trope.
crybaby Armin, little useless Armin," and then like, Krista, he's like, "Damn," and then the speeches from Aaron and everything. Like, he got that awakening moment when he's just like, something's not right, and I gotta kind of figure this out, and also just I don't want to look like a pussy. Like I
Yeah,
get,
especially in front of Mikasa and shit.
right, right.
100%. God damn.
Bro, the scene where Annie as the female Titan is getting fucked up by Levi squad, and it's like, damn, like these scouts know what they're doing and shit. And then like after a while, you're like, okay, something's gonna go wrong. Like everything's going right. They're not just gonna like end up killing this female Titan they just introduced. And
You're talking about once they let him into the woods.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, the way she dispatched Levi Squad was so fucking brutal. Like she just like fucking American History X stomps that one girl into the tree.
Jesus.
Oh, dude, and then even how she like tacticianed that to where she called in the other Titans, blah blah, and then okay, I'm gonna escape out of my Titan, and that's where even Aaron was like, no one saw her got eaten, so
Mm-hmm.
we can't say that she's out of it.
Yeah, it's to like that. The part that like I was just shook off of was when like it was prior episodes before, it was when Aaron was describing all of Levi's team and how they were like badasses. They took down like somebody took down 40, 81 assists. Like they were like he listed how badass they were, and then this female Titan comes in and just annihilates them. Just it's so gruesome, and it's so like
It's almost
fucked up but amazing.
disrespectful.
Like
It's almost disrespectful to Levi Squad.
it's
It
so just
was, but it also set the bar to say, hey, you've never actually dealt with a Titan of this level. They've dealt with abnormals, they dealt with regular Titans, but not a trained soldier Titan.
mm-hmm.
So it just
And
really that's where it's just like shitted on everything. Like you don't know anything.
100%. That was what that moment felt like. Even when like she just annihilates that team, and it was Aaron versus her 1v1. I thought that there was gonna be like a chance, but Aaron never stood a chance. It was like a rookie versus a veteran. Like you can't
Oh
write that
yeah,
shit. Like
and you're already so invested in that character, like, and you're so used to like your channel other shows like, okay, the hero, wins the battle and then goes on to the next big bad. But with
Hmm.
this manga, this anime, they're like, no, that's not how we're gonna do it. Eventually, but he's gonna take his licks, take his losses, and everything's gonna look hopeless. And we're just gonna keep leaving you on hanging, and you still don't know what's going on. And
Well,
that's the beautiful thing about this, and that's where this manga really sets the bar.
well, Mr. Smith, as we were talking about earlier, before you came on, that I think one of the most attractive things about this, why people are really invested in this show slash manga, whatever, is that it really deals with consequences, with cause and effect. And another one that we get is when Aaron's fleeing while Levi Squad is attacking Annie and everything, and he's like, oh, I could really help them, I could turn the Titan and I can help them, but he's like, you know what, no, I should trust my team. And they got it, and as soon as the battle turns sideways and she starts fucking him up, he has to deal with that, the consequence of that choice, that, oh, I should have just acted, like,
Yes,
yeah.
because they gave that whole speech, all of them and stuff. But even and that's the beautiful thing about this thing too, because the rest of them were all trust your squad. But the captain of the squad, Levi, said, "Do whatever your conscience dictates. My moral compass." And then later you find out everything that Levi went through, and he's like, I I can't tell you good or bad. Just do whatever you feel is right.
Right, which is basically the only logical, like, advice you could give to someone, is that, like, it doesn't matter what anyone says or thinks, like, you have to make the choice yourself and live with whatever consequences that choice brings.
Yeah, and that's where, like you said, in that moment, it was the other members of the squad hyped him up, and if he would have changed Titan there, they may have taken her down. They may have, that may have been the better decision. But obviously, then the story wouldn't have progressed the way it has. But
No, I have a feeling
that was
Annie would have probably still fucked up Levi's squad.
I think we would have a little bit more survivors, maybe, but
Yeah,
like
maybe.
Annie was just too good. Like you even saw it when Aaron was starting to notice her pattern. He still couldn't take her down. Like
uh
ugh.
Oh, wait.
I don't know, because Levi is just too good.
Bro, the
So Aaron would have went Titan and been enough to distract and restrain Annie in a certain way or whatever, or keep her occupied. And Levi is he's just cold. I mean,
bro, the part where they capture Annie, and she's got her hands on the nape of her neck, to protect herself, and Levi, like a boss, just like stands on her shoulder and is just talking shit to her, like, badass that is. Like, that's like teabagging in Halo. Like, you just, it's fantastic.
I mean, almost, but not necessarily. It's just the fact that he was just taunting, trying to get a reaction for her to open up. So because he knew at that point he really couldn't do nothing. It was just going to be a waste of time and energy, waste of blades, waste of ODM gas. So he was trying to taunt her into a reaction to provide him an opening.
So question. Annie releases the scream, which summons all these titans, right? Is that a power directly for her, or is that something that all the 9 titans can do?
Mm. Um, as far as I know, I believe that's a coordinate, or is that, of an attack type? Because Annie has a few Titan abilities. I
Yeah,
never
it's
really saw nothing in the show that really, at this point, explained, because she has the hardening,
hmm
she has the attack. So, but as far as I know, they made a big deal that the coordinate, the one that can control other Titans, they made it seem like it was like a 1-on-1.
Well, it just seems a bit inconsistent with me because, like, okay, so the founder can control all Titans, right? And the Beast Titan Scream can turn people into Titans if they have the spinal fluid, and then Annie can summon
And
Titans
then
with
yeah,
just
and then
screaming.
control them too.
Right. So I don't know if that's just like one of those things where like each one of the nine Titans, if they do a scream, can summon Titans. I'm not sure if that's the thing. That's just
well,
what my guess would be. What do you think, Blanta?
so like from what like how I've analyzed it, it's so Annie's able to do it, the Attack Titan's able to do it, the Armor's Titan can do it, the Beast Titan can do it, but from what we've seen, the Colossal is the only Titan so far that we've haven't seen, and the Jaw Titan that has never really called for Titans to come near it. But the rest of the Titans have done a scream, and the Titans have come near them, or they've been able to control them. Those are just those what four Titans that have been able to scream and to call Titans near them. The armor did it in three, and Aaron does it, I think, also in three. It's like they're able to do it, but like it seems like a select few that it still hasn't been explained yet. But like I think with Annie in season four, I think we're gonna see more about her Titan as well, and what she's able to do, and what more we can learn.
Right. They're always coming up with new Titan powers for in each season, so it wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, what was your guys' reaction to the introduction to the Beast Titan? You know, where he's talking to what's his nuts, the scout dude, the guy who's like the second behind Levi.
Um, I just I can't remember his name. Um, that was nuts. I mean, unless you watched, I haven't watched all of them, but I watched one of the OVAs, and that was actually before that time, and that's when technically the first time you see a Titan off.
Hmm
Um, really, really good. I would suggest watching it if you can get a hold of it.
Hmm.
Me, right. Quick.
What did you think, Blanta, of Big Monkey talking?
like when we get first introduced to the Beast Titan, it was like uh, it was a it was a moment like it was like holy there's another one. Like it was like like because we just had like this kind of relief like oh, okay, we got the female, we got the armor, we got the colossal, fine, we could kind of deal with those with these other fucking titans, and now we have another titan with the Beast Titan who can not only talk but can control titans, which we haven't seen a titan really do besides Annie, like call for the titan to come attack her. This one was like a command. Like
Right.
this was like yo, go
Right.
do this. Like and it was
And
so go ahead.
yeah, yeah. When he was like, oh, like when he was walking away after he like was like took the ODM, was looking and inspecting it, and then he took it, and he was like, oh, by the way, you can move again. And then they
hmm
just ate him. That was a huge just what the fuck moment.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and it was definitely portrayed.
I mean, you already knew something was different with him once they were holed up at that tower at that castle, and they're holed up at the tower, and it's like, okay, something's obviously very strange with this one. There's gonna be a bigger story. What's going on? And then once they elaborated, it was like, wow, okay, what's really going on? But I ended up finding it. It's Ilse's Notebook, Memoirs of a Scout Regiment Member.
Huh.
Very good. OVA for this show. I haven't gone through the rest of them. There's like what, 7 other ones, so 8 in total that are at least listed on Funimation.
I might have
I'm,
to check them
I'm
out.
at least that first one that I mentioned, because it adds a little bit more to the lore and about Hanji's dedication to trying to understand and capture Titans. Because I mean, once she read this notebook, she was like,
Oh.
we have no idea.
So, do you remember the two Titans that Hanji has, her test experiments? I can't remember the names. I think one of them was Tawny, but the story.
I can't remember the names, but I know what you're talking about. When they first.
Well, okay, let me.
Well, it was actually
Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, can I finish, please?
no.
No. No, I think it's Sonny Bean. Yeah, Sonny and Bean.
Yeah, Sonny and Bean.
Sonny Bean, back in, I want to say, the 16th century Scotland, was the head of this Scottish clan that just kind of went rogue and lived in the hills of, Scotland and England, and they survived for like 40 years, eating people that just traveled around their home. It's the inspiration for the movie Hills Have Eyes. And I just thought that was really cool because, the cannibalisms, the Titans, and just a fun fact.
Okay. That's a really dope, subtle note. Did not know that. That's nice.
And I have another question for you fine gentlemen. What were your guys's, what was your guys's reactions to the scene of Reiner and Bertold telling Aaron the truth about who they are? Let's start with Blanta.
So, I think it's how it all goes down is kind of like it. I don't think it's ever been done in a show where it's kind of like crosstalk. Like you don't really, if you have subtitles on, you see what they're talking about. But if you don't have it on, you kind of hear what they're talking. It's like hearing a conversation when you're like in public, but you don't know what's all you're hearing. You're just like, wait, what?
Right.
And then
It's like
everything.
It's like if you're passing somebody by and you just hear like, yeah, I'm a Nazi. I do it on the weekends and something. And you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, like you just not really. You're just standing there, just like, wait, what? What's going on? And then like think like the music ramps up, like you're getting fed all this information, and like you're just like, hold up, what is going on? And then it hits literally the fan, and you're just like, whoa, come on. Unbelievable. I think to me that is so like good in writing, animation. That's just it's phenomenal. I couldn't. That scene blew me away.
100% agree. What about you, Mr. Anderson?
So, yes, agree. Blew me away. And then in the second rewatching, which I actually, like I said, I plan on. I might end up reading the manga, but even a third rewatch just because there's so much depth and detail
Oh,
in this
totally
show.
worth it.
It's just insane. And
It,
in the second rewatch, I've noticed certain things that I may have brushed off because I was watching it subbed, and then you're sitting there. There's just so much going on. You're trying to read it and watch it at the same time, and then even watching it dubbed and subbed, you're still trying to get everything, gather everything. There's just so much going on, and it's like you brush little things off. So I noticed like little sayings, or little like quirks and stuff, and it's like it kind of does show in subtle ways that they were who they were the whole time.
Yeah, I feel dumb for not
But
picking it
but
up.
that first time, I'll never get that same feeling again because it's just these rat bastards.
What?
So I mean, because the first time I had no clue what was going on. Second time I'm watching, I'm like, okay, I can't exactly remember, but I know at some point Bertolt and Reiner are double agents the whole time.
Yeah, and I love that we see later on in the season in the later seasons that Reiner is flawed in the sense of like he started to believe the lie that he was living to the point where like his dual personalities were kind of coming in spurts, and it's like he didn't really know who he was. Was he this big brother soldier type, or was he an Eldian for
Marleyan
Marley?
warrior.
Yeah, Marleyan warrior, right?
And that was another beautiful dynamic that they added in there. And Bertolt just tried to play it as cool as he could.
Bertolt wasn't really
And even
much of a
when they
character.
had Aaron, when it was Reiner running in Titan form, and they had Ymir on the back, and Bertolt and Aaron in like a not quite a hardening. It was just like an extra flesh or whatever that Reiner had added, and Bertolt, even broke down and was like, "Yeah, we lied about who we were, but everything was real."
Yeah,
yeah, like
That just really shows, like, wow, like it is hard to get that involved in a super deep undercover role. And I mean, they were there for years doing this stuff, so obviously, and they really had showed that obviously you would gain some kind of feelings, and growing up getting taught that they're devils, they blah blah, we need to wipe them out, and then you're there with these people and you're like, they're actually for the most part just people. It's like the same thing we deal with back at home.
yeah.
Good,
yeah, I think.
bad.
What are you gonna say, Blanta?
So like, I think I told Dr. Sess here, like, it's when in the beginning of the series, all the way to all the way to now, we're in Aaron's point of view, and then we get caught up in everything. But like to me, in that second watch through, when you watch, when you see those three traitors, you're no longer Aaron at that point. You are like Reiner and Bertolt. You're them when you watch it second way through, because you're seeing every lie, every little detail that you can tell, like that the show did to show you that these two, there's just something not right about these three characters. They're always in the background. They're always in the back. They're always doing something a little bit sussy. Like you even see Armin pick up little things here and there. Like your second
like
watch
like
through, you're them.
sorry,
Ugh.
excuse me. Like
You're
when they
good.
were doing that first, well, it's supposed to be the training exercise, or whatever. When they're all riding out on the horses, their first thing to, what is it? Sharon Gasha or whatever. I can't remember the name. But when Reiner was like, "Where's Aaron?" And then here
Mm-hmm.
comes Annie out of right field, and then runs straight to where Armin told Reiner, "Oh, that's where I think he is."
Mm-hmm.
So another question, since we're bringing up the infiltrators, as it were. Um, how would you feel being having to infiltrate a place, and you're born and bred to like basically hate these people even though they're your own kind or whatever, and then as you live with them you start you just start seeing them as people, because that's essentially what they are. They're no more or less evil than anyone else in the world. So how would you guys go about, and like, say you were either Reiner or Bertold, what choice do you think you would make in their place? Like, would you follow through with your mission? Would you go rogue, or would you actually like actively help the residents of Paradise Island? We'll start with Mr. Smith.
I think I might end up going kind of like a Annie route, honestly. Like trying to play it cold and I don't care. I'm just here to do my job. And then you see that when she had the opportunity to kill Armin, but she didn't. She just left him alone and went about what her goal was supposed to be. She was somewhat conflicted, like these people are people. I don't really want to hurt all these other innocents. Just kind of complete my job and get out of here. I think that's something like that, or even when you know Bertol and Reiner were up there on the wall and they told Aaron like, yeah, this is who we are. Can you kind of make this easy and just come with us?
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
their plan was, but yeah, that's a good choice. What about you, Belantanos?
So to me, like that situation, very like if it depends on which side of the like the I'm born on. If I'm born on like Paradise, or if I'm born on what Marley, like it's it's all about the circumstances that I'm put in. Like whether you're in Marley, like you have to, they're making you do this because of they're like we can kill your family whenever we want to, or on Paradise, where it's like, like this is kind of the only way we can get freedom. Like it's like if you're stuck in between those two choices, it's I don't know which one I would like, who I would become at that instant, because like if I like I might become a Reiner who wants to be this stoic, this hero, and like that's almost like you can talk to a little kid, and a lot of little kids want to be a hero, but like Reiner, just like he's that kid who wants to be a hero, but he gets so lost within himself that he breaks. He just like his entire like everything, that his motivation, everything just breaks away. Like he's just so destroyed. And then you got Bertolt, who's like, "This is the job. I gotta do it. I gotta do it." But like at the end of the day, like I still knew these people, and like I don't want to betray them. I don't want to hurt them. And then you got Annie, who's just she was a straightforward one. She was like, "I gotta get the job done." But like just like Mr. Smith said, she allowed Armin to live, but like she didn't, like that was a very big mistake on her half, because if she would have killed him, I don't think she has a lot of problems. But she did not kill him, even though the job dictated for her to do exactly that. So it's so difficult to say what I would do, because it's just you have all these characters who do exactly that, and like they get so lost, they get so confused, and like it's hard to say like you want to call them assholes for being traitors, but like they were doing it for like their own personal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would like to know, like Mr. Suss, like what do you think about that? Like how do you feel like who you would become?
Well, you both bring up very very excellent points. On yours, and that's the central conflict within Reiner is that he doesn't want to choose. He wants to continue being both the soldier and the hero of Marley. Given if me myself was put in the position of, say, Reiner Bertold or Annie, where I was raised as an Eldian in a Marleyan society and brought up to be a great warrior, you know, a great honor to get one of the Titans, and you're given the mission to go to, you know, the Island Devils to get the founding Titan back. And after spending years, and keep in mind, like, they came to this island as children, and they grew up essentially with these people mourning. They crippled this entire civilization, just them, and after having to basically fake it among them like you're one of them, and seeing all these lives destroyed by your decisions, or more or less the decisions of the people that sent you, I think me myself personally would switch sides and take up side with Paradise Island, because say you win, say you get the Titan back, and you're a hero of Marlians, they're still gonna treat you like an Eldian. Like, they may treat you like Zeke, because Zeke's the Wonder Boy or whatever, but more or less, like, you're a subservient. You're not an equal to a Marlian, and I don't think I would ever advocate for a society to be run like that. I think I would rather choose, ironically enough, the one that actually has freedom is the ones within the wall.
Now, the only thing that they don't really, I haven't seen explained as much is there is still the rest of the world, which is in cahoots with Marley, and they hate subjects of Ymir. So, that's how you grow up. That's how you do everything. It's just, I'm a piece of shit, blah, blah. Maybe, oh, I do this and I'm a little bit better. They let me live. And so, I mean, that's, the whole world hates you and wants you killed, but they're giving you basically, like, I have to articulate that point a little bit better, but
It's okay. Take a breather. You're okay. Go lay down.
No. It's just a very touchy subjects, which makes the point, but it's 2022 now, so you can't just say certain things and get away with it.
Oh, you can't make a point? Oh, I know.
Even though it's right, but
yeah, it's always hard to do the right
here's
thing.
these people being persecuted, and they're just trying to please and be accepted. I mean, you have, because Marley is connected to essentially the rest of the world. Paradise Island is just a closed little spot.
Well,
Like Lion King. Oh, where's that dark area? Oh, we don't go there.
Yeah, and I think there is historical references there, as Paradise Island being, of course, a reference to Japan with their isolationism back in the day, and then Marley being like China, like you said, there's just a place that's kind of connected to everywhere else. And I think it's a reference to during World War II, where Japan invaded China. Like, they did some unspeakable things. I mean, there's a reason why they say they call it the rape of Nanjing, is because they killed and did a lot of horrible things there, and it really made the Chinese people have a resentment towards the Japanese people, and they've kind of been economic and political rivals since then, and probably even before. But that is a clear cut reason why. And I think the writer of the manga and the anime really touched on like the historical moments of Japan and the geopolitical system back then and in today.
Yeah, it's I think something that like I thought about when I was like halfway when I got to season 4, and I never thought about it like this. Like, you look at the two sides, it's like when you're born in a system like in Marley, where you're like basically a slave, like, and that's all you know. It's hard to kind of. There's very few people who can escape that mindset if you're born in it. Like, that's why you have those people who stand up and like they do something about it. But Marley takes care of all of that, and then you have the people in paradise who are born in freedom, and like you have Aaron who's born wanting freedom. He wants freedom, and so like all his life he's gonna fight for freedom. And like you have Annie, Bertolt, and Reiner, who are people who are just like, I've been born this way, and it's been knocked into my entire like well-being. Like, we get introduced to a character named Gabby who's just is that copy of what what this show is kicking off. Like, if you're born this way, sometimes it's just hard to escape that mindset of just like brainwashing. Like, you can't, sometimes you just can't get out of it. And it's so hard to call Reiner and Annie and Bertolt bad guys, but they laid their bed, and now like they have to pay the consequences of it, you know?
Oh, I totally agree. And well, speaking of Gabby, that is for part 2 coming in a few weeks whenever Attack on Titan finishes up. So we will see you all next time. I am Dr. Suss. This is Belanta and Mr. Smith, who will hopefully join us next time. So if you
Ho,
continued
ho,
watching,
ho.
yeah, ho ho ho, all them hoes. All right, everyone say bye-bye.
Have a good night. Be safe, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Remember, put your presents up under the tree.